G'day furballs, and today's vlog is going to be talking about heat and fursuiting in a nutshell. So as you guys can tell, I unfortunately am showing some human skin and it's kind of sort of the reason as to why this topic is very important, especially if you are a fursuiter. Now if you're new to fursuiting, you probably wouldn't have thought about how hot a fursuit head or even the paws can actually be. The other thing is, I live in Australia, and if you didn't know, Australia can get similarly hot, and it's like, man, which is partly the reason why you'll probably hear in the background my fan going, as well as poodling, because it just makes it a little bit and less sweaty and annoying. If you've been fursuiting for a while, you'll definitely know how hot it can get inside of a fursuit. Just putting the head on itself can become quite hot and very overly heated. The weather in itself can play a very big part in this because, as you all know, if it gets really hot, you start to become really dehydrated. Being inside of a fursuit head, you can't always just take the head off when you want, because as a lot of you furries would have heard, it's called breaking the magic, which in some situations you really do need to do. If it's going to be a really hot day for a convention or some fur meet, always make sure to have plenty of water the day before. And during that day, always drink a lot of water as well, so that you don't become too dehydrated. Because trust me when I say this, when you do get overheated, it just completely flattens you out. And in most cases, some people can just completely drop to the ground and faint without even realizing that they are having a heat stroke. So to prevent your beautiful, unique, and very expensive fursuit from getting cut up, because if you do actually faint, paramedics will be forced to remove everything off of you, including your fursuit. And they do not have time to actually take it all off properly. So yeah, they do use the snip. The other thing is staying in an area where it is actually quite cool, whether there are some fans or some air conditioner. And if you're outside and you can't actually get to an air conditioner, always go to a shaded area and sit back and rest. You'll probably also know some experienced fursuiters will have portable fans on them, which in most cases they'll probably put up inside the mouth. But it is okay to break the magic if you really do desperately need to. If you are at a furry convention, some fur conventions will actually have a heads-off lounge. This is to help prevent their guests or visitors from actually taking off their fursuit heads, so they're preventing the breaking the magic issue. It also gives a lot of fursuiters a certain place to go and just chill and relax. If you're someone that suffers from anxiety, or you just have that issue with being in a crowded place, or you overheat way too fast, this is the ideal place to just go and sit down and relax. Usually it's very quiet, it's not rough and rowdy, and it has a lot of space. Places like Anthrocon will 100% have these. But if your convention doesn't and you still don't want to have, that breaking the magic issue, go and find a quiet area to take off the fursuit, or even just go to the bathroom. If you are someone that overheats really badly like myself, always make sure that you get to an area where you can get some cool water. 1, so you can drink, and 2, so you can actually cool off. Putting some water on your wrist area, along your neck, and also on your feet can really help your body slowly cool down without being too much of a shock to the system. The other thing is your health is number 1. So if you're overheating or you really need to take a drink really badly, you don't always have to be obliged to stop for a photo. I know it gets really hard to say no because everyone wants to be in a photo, they want to be, seen on social media. But sometimes in a situation where your health is at risk, you do kind of sort of need to say to people, can you hold on a little bit, I just need to cool off. Most people will 100% understand this. If someone scoffs and gets annoyed at it, well, tough luck for them, your health is a main priority. It's also extremely good to have a handler that knows how to deal with these situations as well. It's also another really good idea at conventions that you know where the first aid area is. Usually it's a little table off to the side at one particular point of the convention hall area. Or just make sure you know where a security guard is so that then you can get to them and you can get to the right area to actually cool down. But that's only if it becomes an emergency situation. So in this next part, I am actually going to be breaking the magic a little bit, so I do apologise. Sometimes the eye holes aren't good enough as ventilation. You can't just always rely on them. I do like to have a cool air running through that area, but of course you always need to have a backup plan. Now Engel's mouth is movable, so I can actually do this. All I'm really doing is blowing out the hot air and taking in some nice cool airs. You can also have like a fan flapping around in front of your face to help cool down, which can be really good, but if you're in a situation where you can't do that, then sometimes taking the head off will actually help. P.S. I apologise, I know I break the magic way too often, but health comes first. So to all you new fursuiters out there that are going to be putting on your fursuit head and having an amazing time at a convention, or just at a fur meet, I hope this has been really, really helpful to you guys. Just remember to always make sure you have plenty of water, you have a handler, and you know the venue area that you're going to be at. Also, knowing what the weather is going to be is very, very good as well, especially if you live in a place like Australia. So thank you all for watching. Hope it's been really interesting and really helpful to all of you guys out there, whether you are going to be new at fursuiting or whether you know a lot more about fursuiting and you've been doing it for a very, very long time. Please feel free to add in some comments of your own, whether you think that there's something else that I missed out on, or whether you yourself have the perfect ideal way of helping to cool down. For now, thank you all so very much. I hope you all thumbs up this video and don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. Because as we move into December, I am hoping to get out as many videos as I can while I have the time off. Thank you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!